Hi everyone, it's BG Nails. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I created this mani here. What I started out on my accent nails, I used China Glaze. This is Mahogany Magic. And on my center two accent nails, I started out with one coat of Funky Fingers. This is Gesso. It's a white. You'll need your black stamping polish. I use Funky Fingers Dark Knight because it works for me. I have a piece of wax paper here, and this is going to hold. This one I did with acrylic paints. I chose an orange, a maroon, and a lighter yellow. And my stamping plates I'm using today is BP 101 and BP 109. BP is Born Pretty, if you didn't know. And what you don't see underneath all of the flowers and the stamping is what's actually over my white nail is I had used watercolors just to give a little bit color in the base because I didn't want it stark white. Now when I do decals, I usually cheat and I will use nail polishes. I didn't feel like looking through my rack for these particular shades. These are the shades that I wanted. So I chose to use acrylic paints. Therefore I will use a top coat to cover over my decal before I apply it onto my nail. Alrighty, for my watercolors, I had used this mustard colored. I used this, it's like a burnt reddish mahogany color. And I used this darker brown here. Keep the white here. Sorry, that's my old mani. And it's really, I do such random art. There's no rhyme or reason, just, you know, slap it on there. You can't get it wrong. Less is more when you start playing with paints like this because it's very easy to mud it up. And again, most of this you don't even see. I don't even know if you noticed any of this in my photo. And to be honest with you, I am not using the top quality brushes. You see how bent that sucker is? But it still works. So don't worry how great or how poor your detail brush is because I'm working with a really jacked up one right now. But it's still working for me. Again, most of you probably didn't even notice this as my base. I'm gonna let this dry, we'll come back and top coat. Okay, I'm dry. I'm gonna be using fresh paints for my top coat. Okay, we're going to start making our decal. We're using BP 101 and we're using the center flowers right here. I'm just using Funky Fingers, Black Dark Knight for my stamping polish. And I'm using this new stamper I got from Born Pretty. This is a little holder. He's a soft firm, but he works really, really well. It's a little cloudy in the center a little bit, but I don't know why. I don't know if I got a defect. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one who gets lemons. Do you ever feel that way too? Because I know I do. But I make those lemons work, you know? Make lemonade out of it. Look how nicely etched that is. That's a Born Pretty plate. These plates are really cheap and affordable. Look at that. You see how well that picked up? I have so many lights going on. I'm sorry for all the glares. Look at that. Amazing. So, you get your Scotch tape now. Clean up around your stamper. that out of the way. Let's clean up around our stamper here. Take all this excess off. There we go. I didn't stamp it so great in the center, but heck, it's gonna work. And you know what? I apologize. I took a little bit off of the flower down here. You can't see it because there's a light glaring on it. You see it down there? That wasn't a stamping error. It is on my tape. Everything is dry now. As you can see, it's matte. Now you can top coat it this way. I'm just gonna put it back in the holder. Now we're gonna let that dry. Image right here. Now I do have my decal. I went ahead and I started this while my nail is drying. Now my nail is dry and that is drying. That's the only stamper I have from Born Pretty. So now I'm going to be using Bundle Monster. This is the Monocle. This is the Jumbo. Let's see the difference in the holder. The Born Pretty is more rounded. The Bundle Monster is square. So it would be pretty much preference of which one you like best. Some of the paint is still wet. It will dry matte. So we're literally going to watch paint dry. No, I'm kidding. I won't do that to you. I'll pause it. Alrighty, everything is dry. Now what I do, because it's on a clear stamper, I went right on top of my nail. I figured out where I wanted my flowers. Remember, the yellow one was a little messed up. Again, I'm gonna make my mistakes work for me. The yellow flower got messed up, so I'm gonna make sure he's on the end. I don't want him this way, and I don't want him on top, because he's not perfect. And I'm gonna press and roll a little bit, and I'm gonna roll it up slowly off to the side. And this is to make sure that the decal is coming off. And if it wasn't coming off, I'm not gonna lie to you, I would put it back down and I would blow air on it to dry it faster. And there's my decal. It is on there, it is smooth. Which everything is pushed down. I do have large curves in my nails. So I do understand when people say they can't get their decals to lay flat. I like to do mine on a stamper because the stamper already has a curve, versus on a flat surface, it's going to dry flat and it's going to give me a harder time for the way I do my decals to apply it down. It won't lay flat. You get a pack like 100 of these or something like that at Sally's. Get it wet with just a little bit of acetone. Don't want to do nothing heavy yet.